A new ruling from the Minnesota Court of Appeals is expanding the definition of killed in the line of duty to include police and other first responders who die by suicide due to work-related PTSD. It's a significant change because it opens the door for their families to receive line of duty death benefits from the state. And it is thanks in large part to the woman you are about to meet.
Jerry was just a kind-hearted man.
Cindy Lannon says the most heartbreaking aspect of her husband Jerry's death by suicide 4 years ago wasn't learning that he was suddenly gone. It was watching him gradually slip away.
It's a slow death, if I might say that. With a law enforcement officer, it's generally not one big call that you go to that takes its toll on you. It's generally cumulative.
Is that what you witnessed with Jerry?
Absolutely, yeah. There were a number of calls that I can recall that were big impacts for him.
Though they sought help privately, she says he was reluctant to talk about those struggles at work.
Nobody in Jerry's department knew that he was struggling, and then I think that's such a big part of the stigma is they battle this alone because they're fearful of what could happen.
That stigma has received more attention since Jerry's death in 2018, when research by the Ruderman Family Foundation found that death by suicide among officers and firefighters outpaced line of duty deaths. But Cindy argues that the two are not mutually exclusive.
Mental health is not self-inflicted. I knew that his job had caused his demise.
But because the Minnesota Department of Public Safety denied her application for line of duty death benefits, Cindy and her attorney spent years working on an appeal.
The question that was left open or wasn't fully resolved was, will a mental health injury qualify? Will those unique risks of trauma and tragedy and pain, will those be accepted as a form of injury?
In a ruling on Monday, the court said yes. A surviving spouse of a public safety officer who dies by suicide is entitled to the death benefit for survivors of officers killed in the line of duty if the officer's death resulted from PTSD caused by performing duties peculiar to a public safety officer.
Ms. Lannon will now have the opportunity to have her day in court.
Oh my goodness.
And she says she looks forward to that opportunity, and not just for Jerry.
Just talking about it now gives me goosebumps. When I learned of the reversal, it was just like, oh my gosh, all this work and all this time and all this energy and all this stirring up all that stuff over again has just been worth it. Number one, to honor Jerry, and number two, if the work I've done and we've done can make a difference for another family, this was worth every second of it.
Now, this ruling comes at a time when similar changes are happening on the federal level. In August, a group of Democrats and Republicans in Congress voted to expand line of duty death benefits to officers who die by suicide or suffer from PTSD after a distressing event on the job. Here in Minnesota, the Department of Public Safety could still appeal this ruling, but in a statement, Commissioner of Public Safety John Harrington wrote, "We take seriously the mental and emotional health of our state's emergency responders and deaths resulting from PTSD. We have spent the better part of 2022 researching the issues, existing laws, and our federal partners' responses as we work to propose modifications to Minnesota's statutes."